Well, what would a meal be without dessert?
I don't know.
Huh?
It wouldn't be much fun.
No, it wouldn't be. And that's the great thing about our low glycemic lifestyle. Yes, you can have dessert. Do you have dessert every night? We've got some students that do.
Right.
Rue and I have dessert once a week. How about you and Kevin?
About once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. But it sure is a treat. But we can have it. And here's how.
Absolutely. So we are going to be making some brownies. Yay! Can there be anything better?
Who thought we could eat brownies and be eating healthy and losing weight at the same time?
Absolutely. Okay. So one of the basis of a lot of the recipes that we have are beans. And one of the great fun things that I do when I have our group over once a month for our healthy gourmet meals is to try and figure out what the mystery ingredient is in the dish. And I'm telling you, once you've figured out, not that anybody's ever figured out that it was beans, but once they've been told, every single dish after that, that's the first thing they say. Does it have beans in it, Kippy? Is it beans? No, it's coleslaw. There are no beans in coleslaw, but in any event, we have lots of fun, don't we? Okay.
Is this your food processor?
Again, what would I do without that baby? So we've got a can of garbanzo beans. The garbanzo beans I've actually rinsed just to get rid of some of the surface starch, okay? Now, one word of warning about garbanzo beans or any kinds of beans. Read your labels.
That's right, that's right.
Right? You think, beans would be fine, there'll be some sodium, but it should be no problem. Well, a lot of the people now, when you see 50% less sodium, what they've replaced the sodium with is
Sugar.
Sugar.
Can you believe that? Sugar. So, what we suggest is get the ones with the regular ones and rinse them. Rinse them.
So you're going to get rid of a lot of the salt, and if you wanted to do the same with the 50% less sodium, even though they have sugar in them, you could do that also. But let's face it, you are going to have some of the sugar that's going to be imbibed and absorbed by the beans. So, word of advice, I think you're better off to go with the full boron beans and then just rinse them. So,
Correct. That's what we've done.
we've got a cup of beans. Now we have got some sugar-free chocolate. Again, this is something I buy in bulk at Winco. I don't know if you have a Winco around where you are. If you don't, try and find one.
Try a health food store. A lot of times they carry a sugar-free chocolate. And this is dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate. Yes. Okay. Now, to replace the flour that you would normally have in a brownie, we've all made the traditional brownies. What we're going to replace them with is our vanilla Nutrimilk protein powder. A little baking powder. Some almond extract. Now, if you wanted to, I know that the last time you did them, you added a little orange extract to give it a little, nothing better than chocolate and orange. So experiment, right? Peppermint, any of those kinds of flavors, maple, what have you. Try a licorice flavor.
Ooh. Just a touch. It'll add a new dimension.
And now we've got eggs.
The whole egg, not egg white?
The whole egg.
Absolutely. Yolk and all.
Yolk and all. And we have got some pecans here. Now, getting back to the eggs. You know, the egg has had a pretty bad rep in the last 15, 20 years. But there is nothing wrong with having an egg a day. Absolutely.
Or two.
Or two, yeah.
It's a great protein source, really great, especially if you can get fresh eggs.
Yes. We are going to pulse these until they're fully mixed.
Now I can hear you.
Thanks, Hillary. So now we are going to spray our mini muffin tin. Now, could you use whole muffin tins? Absolutely. Mini bundt tins, great. I also, as we did last weekend for Kevin's birthday, used a round cake tin. So all of a sudden my brownie turned into a beautiful chocolate torte.
Absolutely.
So we're going to spray.
I like the mini ones because, you know, when I eat the dessert, that's about all I really need to feel satisfied. Now, of course, Kevin, my husband, likes to have a couple of them.
Yes, and you know, they can
Absolutely.
afford to have it. Okay, so
We want to do that way, or would you like a spoon?
I think a spoon would be better. Let me
Okay.
get a spoon.
I'm just gonna.
Oh,
Put that
you know
down.
what? I am going to get my special. Where is it? Oh, there we go.
Boy, this is great.
Okay.
Smells wonderful too.
Kitchen gadgets.
And she's got them all.
I'm addicted to kitchen
Yes,
gadgets.
she is.
Okay. It's so much so that I go into a kitchen store and I get these gadgets, and then like several months later I'm looking at it. What the heck is that? Case in point, this little puppy here. This little puppy. So, and just dropping it in.
Or just a regular tablespoon.
Tablespoon would have done
Or-
wonders.
But-
You could have put it in a Ziploc bag and just cut the bottom end and put them in that way. But this is great. We've got no problem here. Now you'll notice that I am making 12. Now I also have a 24 muffin tin. So we can do a whole bunch, we can freeze them, whatever.
But what's really nice is Kippy's going to make these, and then she's going to save the rest that we have in here and make them later on this week. And once she does that, again, once they're made, they can't be frozen.
Yes, absolutely.
And you can take them out a couple at a time. I have a couple of my members that do that, and they absolutely love them. They take them to work. They take them to work in a little baggie frozen.
You know, sometimes it's like, it's the idea that you have a little bit. Okay, so we have finished with our muffins.
As you can see, can you see that? I've added some pecan halves to the top. So now we're just gonna pop them in the oven.
Pop them in the oven. So, how do our brownies look?
Wow.
I mean, doesn't that look so pretty? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take one out. Now you remember when I made the tzatziki and we had taken the Greek yogurt, I took a little bit aside. So we've got our Greek yogurt, and now we're going to add just a little bit of agave, just to sweeten it up a little bit.
Let's put this over here.
Okay, thank you. So now, instead of using high fat, high sugary type of
Whipped
whipped topping, okay, we are going to be using a dollop of this cream.
And what did you, now I know those are strawberries, but they look a little different.
They do look a little different. One of the things that you can do to be able to pull the glycemic index down on something that you're eating is to be using a vinegar, something like balsamic vinegar. So if you are going to be going out and you are going to be treating yourself to a piece of white bread, you know, the idea of putting a little bit of balsamic vinegar in your plate and dipping it will actually pull the glycemic index down.
Wow.
So we have done the same thing to strawberries. Now strawberries of themselves are a moderate on the glycemic index, but now having marinated them in the balsamic vinegar, it's even less so. And do they taste like vinegar? Tastes
Yummy.
absolutely. So here we go. Low glycemic, beautiful chocolate brownie.